to start. Welcome back, faithful listeners, to the Media Files podcast. We are back. It has been a minute. Not really, but, it is what it is. For this one, we are going to do something very special. Brace yourselves.
Should we be worried?
Yes, you should be. Okay, let's see if I can get this set up. So we are going to pull this up. Oh, we were looking at video games. If any of you guys have played Uzumaki Chronicles, you're cool people. If you have not, you should.
You should.
Okay.
Good game, despite the Naruto hate, for good reason.
So, if you listeners have listened to the last podcast, one of the things I kind of talked about was anime, and one in very particular. So, all three of us like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and everything related to it, I would assume.
I actually like GT.
I mean, I don't like everything. That doesn't include GT. I like GT. I just don't like everything.
Well, what I mean is you like it. You like.
I like it though overall. Yes, I do.
We
were there when we people used to draw Super Saiyan 10.
Yeah, we were there when we were printing out fucking photos in the school library and almost risking getting in trouble for it.
Bruh, stop. You're revealing our age.
We were there getting
dial up. So, as fans, that means you should be able to answer questions.
Oh, come on, dog. Of course.
Oh, no. Are we doing trivia?
Oh, yes, we are.
I love trivia. So I like Dragon Ball trivia, honestly.
So I came across something because, I was kind of saying it before we started recording, but the last one, I went on Reddit, looked up a topic, and when I came off, they were like, oh, there's a trivia thing. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, these are some pretty decent questions. So I got it set up into two parts. This first part is more right or wrong, and the second part will be more interesting. But I am going to pull it up on my screen.
Ooh, I'm about to make a man for myself.
Oh, yeah. You need to make sure people know what happened here today.
All right, here we go. Trivia whiz. And I have my, what do you call it? My virus protection, just in case.
Because the fucking website, it looks like it's going to spam fucking ads to you like all the time already.
Dude, there was another website I looked up, and every minute there would be my virus protection be like, ding, 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 we stopped this, or ding, 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 we stopped that. And I'm like, what? I need to get off this website.
Especially when you try to go to old forums. Oh my God.
Dude.
And
18 years old is just a nightmare.
For real.
So this one is called 21 Dragon Ball Z Trivia Questions to Help You Go Super Saiyan. They could have picked a better name, but sure.
They picked the right date to make this fucking article, July 4th, motherfucker. Let's go. Because nothing says more American than Dragon Ball. Am I right?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I just got reminded. I never got a box of those Goku Reese's Puffs.
The what?
Man, me neither, bro. I never got that. Isn't that a Japanese thing? Isn't that a Japanese thing?
No, we're here. You can get them here.
Oh, man, I never got that. Why would I?
Are you talking? Is that a real thing, or are you guys trolling?
Yeah, that was real. There was at least one.
Had, Goku, and I think some of them had Boo and Frieza on the box.
I think it was one time, though. I've never seen that ever happen again.
I see some weird stuff when I go shopping, and most of the time I'm just like, eh. I think I saw Goku on a box of Raisin Bran or something, and I was like, wait, what?
Honestly, that sounds like something they've been doing in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised.
They just slap anime on everything.
Well, to them, I mean, to
Bottles
them,
of
it's
Coke
like, yeah, for real. Like, I mean, to them, it's like watching fucking television, bro. Like regular ass television. So,
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, and we put our cartoons on everything too. So,
but they do shame some people, I guess. Maybe the otakus. That's why, and I don't blame them.
it's just, they're not human.
Not human.
Bro, that's so sad. Okay.
They're just horny.
No. Dude, we were literally talking about that with like one of my most hated anime tropes, manga tropes, like
What?
lollies, dude. I hate that.
Oh yeah,
so
because
much.
it's
Wait,
It's
what?
weird.
he was saying
Lollies.
that like he hates lollies. I mean,
Oh God.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, even if you don't hate it,
a 4,000-year-old, whatever, dragon, demon, angel, otherworldly being.
But you're gonna
like,
make them.
I mean,
Just make them look like an adult.
like I've never watched that kind of shit, but
well,
I mean, I've seen images of shit or whatever, and like I know what lollies are, but I mean, I don't want to know more in depth at all because that shit's just practically
cringe.
pedophilia. Just
Dude,
practically
so,
pedophilia at that point.
What's the character in Hunter x Hunter? But imagine that, but permanent.
Bisky.
Palm,
Yeah.
Palm, because she fucking dated Gon, a fucking 12-year-old.
Oh. Ugh.
And Gon had already been technically sexually abused by multiple females prior to the beginning of the story. But you know, I'm a man, so he got his Mac on. Lol. I'm just fucking around. That shit's terrible for you.
Dude, they literally.
But it's whatever.
Sometimes
I mean,
feel like,
Hisoka's a pedophile, bro.
well, here's the thing. Sometimes I feel like they do that to see how far they can push the boundaries.
That's Togashi, bro.
That's just like some of the humor out of Japan, like
Yeah, for real.
That's just something they do.
I don't think the fart and piss jokes is even that big over there anymore. Honestly, it's a real different time, bro. Like Gintama's not even running. That shit's over.
It's just
Oh, Hunter's coming back next month.
This
Or
month.
this month.
oh,
This
is it?
month. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
man, I need to catch up with a few
First time
chapters,
in
bro.
2 years, we get a new chapter in Shonen Jump.
It's probably less than 10 chapters that I gotta read, but there's so much fucking words. I gotta reread that shit.
Dude, that was literally what I was talking about in like the episode. Like, because the Ghost Reaper girl manga was like absent. Like, it hadn't been updated, I think, for like 2 years. And then a new chapter just dropped out of nowhere. And I was like,
Shonen Jump?
yeah, it was Shonen Jump, dude.
Why are you giving these?
For a while, hasn't Shonen Jump just been canceling stuff left and right?
Yeah, that's literally what I was saying. I was like, why are they letting these series that haven't been updated for a very long time stay in the magazine? But then like they'll rush some series to get, to end early and kick them off the platform. I'm like,
Look at Netflix.
I think there's. I've been starting to think this for a while, and I've been thinking that maybe Shonen Jump is just hiring their standards.
I think Shonen Jump.
It could just be that.
is
You
just
never
far
know. It
up
could
their
just be
own.
that. I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah. But to be fair, they're still the highest selling, most popular manga magazine since forever. So,
Well, I mean, but that's because of, again, the titans that they keep,
creating the talent that go to Jump is crazy. I'm not saying the other magazines don't, but you know what I mean. Like that shit's crazy. It's like Marvel and DC in one magazine.
Yeah,
Well,
like Image is great, but like you get the opportunity to write Batman or write for the Avengers. That's like it's the big leagues.
And the coolest part is that they end. So I mean, unless you're like Dragon Ball for right now, for however long that'll go.
Well, that's my point. Is like you still have very popular series that have been going on for a long time, still being featured in the magazine. Because, like I told you, a lot of series have already ended, and they are coming to an end. JJK is ending. We literally had My Hero end like what 2 weeks ago.
Like 2-3 weeks ago.
Kaiju number 8 is
a little longer than that. Yeah, what is with all the new series ending and wrapping up really quickly compared to like
because more time passed than we've perceived. It's been 10 years, bruh.
Well, I was gonna say every series doesn't need to be like 50 years.
Yo, that's crazy.
What?
Dude, it feels like My Hero Academia came out 5 years ago, bruh. Maybe it's the anime hype, but I was still reading that shit even when like early into the story, like maybe not 5 chapters in, but I started to read it when it was like maybe around Endeavor becoming the main hero. Spoiler alert, it's been 10 years, fuck you.
that's like season 3.
Yeah, but like still like it was like chapter 185 or some shit. That was when that happened.
I read an interview a while ago that said that fight, spoiler, between All Might and All for One happened way sooner than was originally planned.
Oh, that's
like All Might is supposed to be like relevant in the story as like the number 1 for a much longer time.
Maybe he needed something hype at the time for the story. That's what
that's what he said. He was like, "Yeah, I need something to like keep people's interest."
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's been a while since My Hero Academia dropped, and I mean, shit. Even it's more of like a Jump series of like the. I mean, it's longer than Yu Yu Hakusho, but it feels like that kind of series, or maybe like Full Metal Alchemist, because Full Metal Alchemist only went for like about 10 years.
Well, I think
Full Metal Alchemist is really short. It's like 20 something volumes.
Well, I think
it's 27 volumes, but it was monthly. I mean, the last chapter was 106 pages.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's a difference between a series like My Hero, where I think there's a lot of potential to lengthen the story because there's so much diversity between literally anyone could be a hero or anyone could literally be a villain. Like literally has a spinoff with the Vigilante series.
They haven't even done that anime. They're going to do it.
They need to do it.
Vigilantes, dude, that shit I haven't really read that stuff. I've skimmed it. It looks cool. Dude, I know that anime is coming. It's just going to be it's going to be My Hero Academia GT, but it's an interquel. And it's canon.
Well, I mean, it is because it goes into like some of the backstories of like main heroes. So it gives like more, like Eraserhead gives a lot more about his backstory. So, and a lot of people tend to say they like Vigilante more than the main series, which I could understand, but I'm like, you wouldn't have Vigilantes without the main series. So unless literally he's out here like creating like spin-off after spin-off, like a DC multiverse, I think we'll be fine.
Ooh, how do you guys feel about the Absolute line from DC that's coming out? Absolute Batman, who's like he's not rich, but he's just like a city worker and he's jacked. He doesn't have Alfred, he doesn't have gadgets. He's just like some 20-year-old guy who works for the city who's like 6'4", 300 pounds. I think I shared the bat symbol.
I think so.
It was just like
I'm not gonna say I don't, but I always felt like the whole rich angle was just Batman. Like if you take that away, I don't know how I'd feel about it. It had to be a well-written story for me to be like, yeah, I don't have any issues with this.
I think they said this is supposed to be like a world that's like much darker because Darkseid did something and now this world that all the heroes are growing up in is like it's like Flashpoint but worse.
Oh,
Except they're not all fighting each other. They're just like fighting Darkseid and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Superman didn't have the Kents. He grew up without the Kents in this world.
Oh. Yeah, I had to read it to see. Yeah, I had to read it to see because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I appreciate the versatility of DC and Marvel to like have like different variations of popular characters or even characters that they barely put in movies. But I mean, it could work. I don't know. They do a pretty good job, but there are some that are trash. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. All right. You guys ready for this first part?
Yeah.
I don't have any like game show music, and I'm not going to do that because it's probably going to mess up if I play it. No. All right. First question. Who wasn't killed by Piccolo in Kula's revenge? And here are the choices.
Oh, fuck.
Salza? Salza?
Oh, wait, I can't see.
I think so. Wait, can you guys see my screen?
I'm reloading.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think it was Salsa. Well, I know he was still alive for a minute. It better not be like a trick question, like, but who else was still alive?
I mean, I figured it was Salza because he was the strongest of the group behind Cooler.
Wait, what?
Wait, what's wrong?
Wait, what? I don't. Damn, I actually don't remember that. That's crazy.
Is this?
I was actually thinking Cooler first, but then I was like, wait a minute.
I mean,
honestly, I'm dumb for that.
Did Piccolo finish him off?
Probably he did.
I need to rewatch that movie. That was like one of my favorite movies.
Good movie.
Well, we're wrong.
Oops.
On Dragon Ball Z, what is Goku's Saiyan name? Bruh.
Bruh. Come on.
Bruh. Is that Vegeta?
Vegeta, bruh?
Why are they spelling it different?
Fajita, bruh. Okay,
what is a Kaizen?
Kienzan? Destructo disc.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's just the Japanese name.
I see.
Destructo disc is just what they called it.
On Dragon Ball Z, who gives Goku a flying Nimbus?
Master Roshi?
Yeah, it was Master Roshi.
Yeah.
Who put Yamcha? Who the heck put Piccolo? Wait a minute. Yeah, why is it Z? And why is Z in quotation marks? It was in Dragon Ball.
Who made this?
That's what I was about to say. I'm questioning this. I mean, it's still right, but still. What special objects made it possible for Vegito to be created on Dragon Ball Z?
The magic socks.
The ruby slippers?
Yeah, just click your heels 3 times and fuse.
Dude, could you imagine that? I'm not even gonna lie. I could see that happening. I could literally see that. The fusion hats. Oh my god. Okay. Who made this?
Play the card of magical hats on my dark magician.
No. Apparently they're making like a VR Yu-Gi-Oh game, I think.
I am ready for that, nigga. Let's go.
Because one of the YouTubers,
let's go.
One of the YouTubers I follow, he's been like posting videos of like him in VR, and like summoning like Dark Magician Girl and fighting Kaiba.
You know what I haven't played? I haven't played not Master Duel. Is that the game that came out recently?
Oh, you're talking about yeah, it's Master Duel, right?
I have not played that in like a year plus.
Yeah, I was about to say I kind of jumped into it because the other one was kind of like but I played it like casually.
Really good. Damn.
I think the only thing is like I can't play the decks that I really want to. I have to like build it up.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing I miss about old Yu-Gi-Oh games. Like if you had the card and it had like the little like the code on the bottom, you could type that in and get the card in the game.
Shit's awesome.
Okay. What two people fuse to make Go Tanks?
Trunks and Goten.
Who put Future Trunks and Goku?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. That's like my favorite duo of the whole series.
Who?
Trunks and Goten?
No, Future Trunks and Goku. They're my favorite pairing.
Really?
Yeah, like, dude, it's so interesting, bro. It's such an interesting dynamic because it's Bulma's, who's Goku's oldest friend, literally his oldest friend, her son, and like now brother / rival. And it's so awesome to see it play out in Super in the Goku Black arc when they're like fighting with each other, and they have one of the coolest like fight scenes ever too. So that's pretty cool.
I was about to say someone brought up a good point on how weird Trunks and Mai's relationship is.
I mean, it's not weird to me. It's not weird
because she's technically what she was like 80 something years old, and then that's like getting isekai.
Not anymore.
No.
The thing is, like, like I can't. Like, I was honestly thinking about that one time, and I was like, well, no, she's literally just a child
woman in a child's body. The same.
No, like she's genuinely a child now, though.
Yeah, in the body, but she still regains all her memories of what she did.
Yeah,
as a Red Ribbon. I mean, so she is still 80 years old.
Actually, no. There's actually a backstory to that. It's a manga. It's a special like 2-page manga chapter where what happened in Future Trunks' timeline is that when Trunks was a baby, like when Trunks was already a baby in his timeline, Pilaf got the Dragon Balls and made the same stupid mistake, and they became children. Or no, they actually became like babies or some shit. So like you see Mai as a baby straight up or a super toddler. So they pretty much are the same age in a sense.
Okay,
that's what happened.
That's fine for Future Trunks.
Yeah,
we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Mai in the main timeline.
Oh, I mean, apply the same logic. Apply the same logic.
She is 80 years old, bro.
No, I know what you mean.
She's not a baby.
No, but the thing is, it's not like
bro,
it's gonna go away. She's actually like a child and now a teenager. She's actually a teenager.
It's weird.
Even mentally, it kind of affects her. Like she kind of like behaves like one too, like in the story. Because when they readapted Superhero, they added details in the beginning with Trunks and Goten and their school lives and all that. No, it's not in the movie. It's the manga.
Nope, didn't read it.
Yeah, that's why they're cooler in the manga. Anyway,
still weird. What is the name of the talking pig on Dragon Ball Z?
Chaozu, bro. I'm just kidding. Oolong.
Who the heck is Saiba?
Dude, they purposely give out like wrong questions.
What color is Boo on? I don't really feel like this is an appropriate. Like this is almost like a quiz for someone who like I mean, we did get the first question wrong, so we can't say anything. Anywho, which character is not a part of the Ginyu Force? They spelled raccoon wrong.
Raekwon. Why is Raekwon there?
Who is Raekwon?
Is that
Wu-Tang.
like a misspelling of raccoon? Like,
No, it's
Raccoon's
Raekwon.
right here.
It's Raekwon from Wu-Tang.
Bro, what the Who made this quiz? They're terrible. Who is Chi-Chi's father on Dragon Ball Z? The Ox King.
yeah. Is he around in Super?
I don't.
Ooh.
The Ox
He
King.
shows up like here and there.
I was gonna say he shows up in Z sometimes, every now and then, but like, again, that's the thing with Dragon Ball is like once you're not worth anything or important anymore, you meld in with the rocks in the background.
He's tossed in cold storage.
You're literally
Cold
as in
storage.
You're literally
Cold
as
storage,
important,
bruh.
literally as important as those boulders that you know are like in the background that are not gonna move at all.
You know what's so funny? That's true, bro. Dude, if you are not relevant to the story, fuck you.
They
That's
literally.
Toriyama on the daily, bro.
I'm like, bro, like these are your characters. Treat them better.
This nigga be like Dragon Ball Super Broly? Nah, that nigga Gohan ain't sensing shit.
Oh my god.
You know what was happening, right? That nigga was probably scared. He was like, nah, man, fuck that. Goku and Vegeta got it. Am I right?
Oh my
Like,
god.
I mean, that dialogue happened, man. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I know. What is the name of the first American theme to Dragon Ball Z?
Rock the Dragon.
Yeah. The Dragon Rock. Okay.
That's real.
Oh. Who is Kaioshin fused with on Dragon Ball Z? Another Kaioshin? Oh my god.
No, Kabito.
This quiz sucks. What is the talking cat's name on the TV series Dragon? Why do they keep saying this? Just say who's the talking cat.
War.
Ratto?
I don't know who that is. That's not a Dragon Ball character, bro.
That sounds made up. Which two characters are shapeshifters?
Oolong and War.
Who is Scratch?
Scratch from one of that fucking the Simpsons cartoon, I think.
Scratching his neck or whatever, bruh.
The cat and the mouse.
Yeah, scratching his neck.
Yeah.
In Dragon Ball Z, who is Gohan's child?
Han.
Yeah, I feel like these questions
suck. I'm not gonna lie.
What is Goku's home address?
Doesn't have one.
one. I was about to say, oh no, it
Bruh,
wait,
I was actually wrong. That's actually
That's his address?
Yeah.
Nah, that can't be real. They live out in the middle of the woods.
You have to look that shit up in the wiki, bro.
Yeah, no, that ain't right. On Dragon Ball Z, which of these moves can only Cybermen do?
Oh,
this is all in Japanese. Oh.
Haikyuken. Yokai Ki. Yokai Ki? I've never seen that before.
I'm thinking this one because of the way they talk. I could be wrong. Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know, man. It could be that final one, honestly. Maybe. But
yes.
Oh my god. Yo.
I'll take my
an actual hard one.
I'll take my honorary Dragon Ball Z fanboy award of the month. Who grows sensu beans on Dragon Ball Z?
Holy shit, I was muted. I've been muted for like 5 minutes.
Bruh.
God, because I looked at Discord, I'm like, wait, why is my light not like lighting up when I talk? And I look down at my headset and I see the button is pushed. I'm like, oh my God.
Bruh.
I feel so dumb.
Ugh, that's funny.
Super Kami Guru. I need to rewatch Abridged. Oh my god.
That shit.
I haven't watched that.
Can't believe,
Man, I haven't
can't
watched
believe
that
it
in
ended.
so long, bro.
Big sad it ended. So
I know, right?
what is Deborah in Dragon Ball Z? King of Demons.
I mean, technically, he's also Babbidi's bodyguard, right?
He is. That's the true question, though.
Servant. He's definitely Boo pieced him up, so he ain't serving nobody. He got eaten.
That shit's crazy, man. You got the fucking devil to be your fucking servant.
The funny thing is, I still remember that part where it was like, Boo just showed up and was like, you know what? I choose
Boo was a
violence.
Boo was a problem, but I maintained that Cell's rampage of killing people was just so much more menacing to watch.
Dude, that shit was so scary the first time I saw it on TV.
And that
when
man,
like you didn't know what the fuck was happening to the citizens, and then Piccolo gets there and he just sees nothing but clothes.
dude, that was.
And it was like,
when
what the fuck?
When I literally said that I felt like in early Dragon Ball, like early Dragon Ball was horrifying, dude. Like if you were a person in that universe, it sucked.
Honestly, kinda, yeah.
Okay. Who is Pan's grandson?
Goku Jr.
On TV, who is Master Roshi's sister?
Uranai, bye-bye.
I know. Great, you got 20 out of 22.
Man, fuck this quiz.
Yeah.
We need a better one.
Passing grade.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I don't.
We had
Breaking
that.
Bad trivia.
Oh my God! Please, it's not. We're not classifying. We're not classifying Breaking Bad tonight. As much as I would want to, it's not an anime.
I got another one for you.
New Girl. Oh God, I don't think I finished New Girl.
I never finished it. I need to.
I think I watched it. I don't think I ever finished it though.
Good show.
All right.
It was good.
Then.
Nah, man, fuck that. Put on Dragon Ball GT trivia questions. Let's make it interesting.
Oh no,
that's that'll be hard. It's
it don't matter, bruh.
I feel like
it don't matter.
Oh, you think that's hard? I'm just a tutorial level.
Yeah, for real.
So I was watching like some of those like the early like Ego Raptor stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Oh God, help me.
They needed to give a question like, what are Android 17 and 18's real names? Like that. That's a good question because there's an actual answer.
All right. Well, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like sometimes some of these quizzes are just like, whoever made this quiz, good job. You did get us with 2 questions.
Yeah, he did.
You did get us with 2. And 1, I had to literally like dig deep within just to kind of guess. Because ain't nobody was going to be like, oh, yeah, I know all of the Cybermen's attacks in Japanese.
Bro, all the questions are like Americanized and then out of nowhere. What's the Japanese name for the Cybermen's exclusive attack?
That shit's funny, though. Like, nice sense of humor, bitch.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that was overall a good quiz. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Now, the next one is not really much of a quiz, but it's more of a... So I found this article. It is called Questions Dragon Ball Z Never Answered.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder what's on there.
So I found this, and this is the website that was like, oh, we block this like every like minute. So I wrote down the questions. I'm not going to pull it up.
But, hey, you know what's something I just thought of?
You don't have ad block?
Ever find Grandpa Gohan in the afterlife?
No,
he didn't. Him and go like, hey, this is where I'm at now in life.
No, he didn't.
No, he stayed with the person who was maintaining the like fire thing.
That's not canon. That's anime filler.
Oh. That's not canon. Oh,
yeah. The only time they meet is when they fight each other. But to be fair, though, there doesn't need to be another moment. That was such a beautiful moment in the story. when he realizes it's Grandpa Gohan he's been fighting.
I feel like I complain about this a lot, but I feel like the afterlife is like not utilized to its like full potential.
Afterlife is a joke.
And I always go back to like, why don't they like, bring back Raditz?
Man,
he was just following orders. Imagine following a guy's orders.
That motherfucker was evil, bro. He was literally about to kill Gohan. Seriously.
He becomes your brother's best friend after ordering you to do all that stuff.
Nah, that motherfucker was straight evil, bro. Evil motherfucker.
So he's in the afterlife, just mad as hell.
That motherfucker doesn't even exist anymore, bro. Because in Dragon Ball, the afterlife, generally speaking, there's reincarnation and souls will get just wiped clean of everything. Well, unless you're somebody like Goku who gets to keep his body. That's why when Vegeta asks Piccolo, like, if he's going to get the same thing or if he thinks he'll meet him.
He's like, nah, I'll be.
He's like,
too many
no.
People.
In the Japanese version, he actually elaborates in the lore pretty much like what's going to happen to him. He's like, no, because you didn't do the things Goku did or whatever. You're gonna get your soul, and it's gonna get fucking recycled. All your memories and everything that you used to be will cease to exist.
Dang.
Oof.
Yeah. So
we'll make it out of the zoo with this one, boys.
So they actually brought him back just in time.
Okay.
They brought him back just in time.
You know what? I'll just leave up the Scooby-Doo thing.
All right. So
speaking of the afterlife, here's the first question. Why did King Yima reincarnate Kid Buu into Oob?
Because Goku asked for it.
And that is, like I said, I read through like what they were. So basically they asked the question and then they would present like, okay, this, and this, and then be like, well, but is that a good enough reason? So if I remember correctly, they said that, of course, Goku did ask for it, but it was kind of like, ever since when did Goku have this quote unquote authority to be like, hey, King Yima, can you reincarnate this guy for me? Like,
well,
and there was no specification of like, okay, he's going to be reincarnated into a human.
Yeah. So, he didn't specifically ask King Yama for it. That was actually just a personal thing that Goku was sharing as he was killing Kid Buu.
Yeah.
Like that was just a way, like he was practically just saying, man, I wish you would come back as a good person. That's pretty much what he was saying. Like he wasn't actually asking King Yama to do it, but King Yama was, obviously, I'm pretty sure he knew what was going on and he heard his request and he decided to make it happen because he's saved the universe in a way that it's never been saved before. So I think he could grant him that. And in Super, Oob is confirmed to have God keys, so that's pretty fucking awesome.
That makes sense.
So here we go.
He has God key because Kid Buu had God key.
So
he just couldn't use it.
Concludes with Goku dropping everything to train Oob, a 10-year-old boy, to be Earth's next great hero. Oob's phenomenal strength is the result of him actually being the pure-hearted reincarnation of Kid Buu. Goku seems to inadvertently be responsible for Oob due to the fact that he earnestly wishes to one day get a rematch against Kid Buu because he was a worthy opponent. This isn't an official wish to Shenron, but King Yima apparently hears Goku's request and decides to make it happen. Dragon Ball actually says that. Dragon Ball had previously established that villains get reincarnated, but this doesn't mean that Goku gets to personally select who undergoes this process. Goku has no power on this front, and King Yima shouldn't get in the habit of catering to individuals' wills. There's nothing that would keep Goku from requesting every villain that he faces to be reincarnated into an eventual ally. Ultimately, Oob is a convenient plot device that sets up the series' future up for some compelling ideas, but he's development that's not properly developed.
Well, yeah, because it ends.
I mean, yeah,
it ends.
but Oob does continue into GT, so it's not like he was dropped completely. But it was more of the idea.
Man, they did that character so dirty in GT, man. They ruined him, man. It's so sad.
I mean, it's the same thing they did with Gohan and like everything after freaking anything else.
I genuinely don't like what they did to some of those characters. Like, people think Super, like, man, people can say what they can about Super, but it did not treat the characters remotely like GT did. It still doesn't. GT, if your name wasn't Goku, you don't get to win. You don't even get to have real shine.
I mean, you could say that about Super too. Like, they're literally going into a realm where all the other characters are just being left behind and have really no purpose aside from watching over.
Yeah, you can say that for this specific story, but we don't really know how.
Vegeta's along for the ride.
Yeah, Vegeta's along for the ride, and you still see them give more screen time and good screen time, even though that varies to the characters. Like GT didn't even give Yamcha shine. Super did that already.
I mean, listen, I like GT for specific reasons, but again, I don't think it's necessarily like, okay, everybody. And I think there's also the argument of not everybody needs to be included, because then you have to also work out how strong they are. Because that was kind of my issue with like the Tournament of Power. I'm like, and I said this in my in the podcast episode I did before, where I said the best way for action animes or fighting animes to kind of set the stakes or set up kind of the I guess differences between two opponents is with some type of either a visual or like some kind of numerical difference. And power levels was that for Dragon Ball. That worked up until a certain point. Like with Hunter x Hunter, it's like, okay, the difference is either they're older, they have more experience, because Gon is a kid. Like, obviously you would think, oh, an adult who's been using Nen forever would have a greater chance against a kid who's only just discovered that he can literally like suck his thumb or something. So obviously the power difference between those two is easy. But it's like, as you're getting into a realm of like, we don't know how strong anyone is. There's no like, because even, and I said this, I was like, when Jiren came up onto the scene, I was like, there's really no indicator of how strong he is. And the same problem with Kefla. It was like, there's no indicator. Like, you're just like, she's just strong.
I think the best indicator was just seeing what forms they were beating. But even then, like, that already suggests something insane.
Yeah, it's like
that already suggests like insane power. And it's like, oh my gosh.
And that immediately cuts off everybody else. So the same thing that we're saying for like GT, like, okay, the other characters don't get any shine, but is that worse than them showing up and not really being able to do anything? You know what I'm saying? Well, that's like visually showing like, hey, yeah, you guys are basically worthless. We don't need you. You can be here to watch, you know, tell how awesome I am. But, you know, there's really no play for you. Wolfang Fist ain't going to help you in this situation. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it did that one time, though. Like, it did, though. In the Moral arc.
Yeah.
It uses it and shit. I mean, it's still cool. Like, they actually, you know, they still get beat up. But, I mean...
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd want my character to devolve into, just being a punching bag.
But they get beat up, but they don't really focus on them getting beat up, because it's like, all right, you're done.
Because it just takes them to be looked at and they're knocked out. So there's really no point. But I
mean, they beat the shit out of Gohan. Dude, Gohan lost teeth in that arc, man.
Make Gohan great again.
I mean, isn't that what he is again already?
No.
No, not really.
No,
he's working on it.
He's working.
I was so pissed off about that.
Man, screw his character, bruh.
I'm so ticked off about this whole. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Let's keep on going with these questions that
Number
you need
2
answered.
How is Android 17 alive?
Because
we're not talking about Super. We're talking about Z.
Yeah, because when Cell blew up, he technically killed 17. So when they brought back all the people that Cell killed, 17 got brought back.
Okay.
He's not a fucking robot. He used to be Jiro's
cyborg.
Yeah, they're cyborgs. It's because they call them androids in English, but they're cyborgs. They're called cyborgs in Japanese, and the lore is that they're Jiro's 18 and 17. They're Jiro's original son and daughter.
Oh,
and he used their corpses for the experiments.
What a happy family.
Yeah. I don't think he killed them, but they did die. And they had their names, like Lapis and Lazuli or something shit like that.
Yeah, it's I saw it in a game.
Is that a flower or a gem?
It's a flower, I think. I think they're flowers.
What's up? Lapis and Lazuli? No, they're rocks.
Rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Think of Steven Universe,
that's right.
Jihad.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a character in Steven Universe
who has
Lapis Lazuli.
Really bad mental health issues. But anyway.
Literally.
Yeah. So that's why he's alive.
So let's read what they got. Cell requires Android 17 and 18 to become perfect, but the aftermath of this transformation is somewhat tricky. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan punches 18 out of him. However, semi-perfect Cell self-destructs before he quickly returns to a super perfect Cell. This indicates that Android 17 blew up with Cell and should be gone. Yet he briefly returns at the end of Dragon Ball Z when he donates energy to Goku. One could presume that Android 17 gets revived from the Dragon Ball wish to bring back everyone who was hurt by Cell, but this was never confirmed and would have raised other complications like why Android 16 doesn't get revived. This could perhaps be because Android 17 doesn't have biological components like Android 17 and 18 do, but the Dragon Balls bring back Android 8 back to life, who should be in the same boat.
That's just the fucking plot hole then. It's either a plot hole or it's, yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say Ader, he's full robot.
You can't really explain that away because you either revive him or you don't.
Yeah, okay. I think that one pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Oh, the next one's interesting. Is King Cold in his final form when he shows up in Dragon Ball Z?
I think
no.
I think he is because he doesn't transform.
I mean, he didn't really get much of a chance to.
No, but he's still like he's a greater fighter than Frieza.
I mean, think of it.
Like that guy is old, bruh. I mean, that guy is old, and he ruled with an iron fist for so fucking long before he gave it to Frieza. So I
assumed he could transform, but just never did.
I mean, he didn't get a chance. He literally swung a sword, and Trunks put a hole through his heart.
Yeah, but he also saw his son, who was more powerful than he was on Namek, get blown up with ease. You don't think he would have actually transformed? He was already stronger.
Let's see what we got.
That must have been his final form.
You have to use overwhelming force from the start. The moment you show up, just go full power.
I mean, but that would go against Dragon Ball Z logic, bro. You got to start off in the easy form. And I think that's where this question is coming from, because no one starts off like Goku doesn't show up and is like, I'm going Super Saiyan 3 immediately. Like 9 times out of 10, they're fighting normal and then they escalate.
That's the Power Rangers thing, the escalation of force.
Bruh.
Like you can't just pull out the Megazord. You gotta match whatever they do.
Dude, could you imagine if that was like the first thing they did? They were like, yeah, we ain't got time.
Oh, there's a bad guy? Megazord, step on him. Oh my god.
They need to make a Power Rangers like that, where it's just like the episode is like 5 minutes long. Okay. Frieza's one of Dragon Ball Z's most evil villains, and audiences get quite a shock when he returns to Earth for revenge, courtesy of his father, King Cold. King Cold and Frieza bear a lot in common due to their connection. What could jump to the conclusion that King Cold can also transform into stronger states? Frieza is said to be more powerful than his father, but King Cold is still incredibly feared. Frieza has 4 separate forms in Dragon Ball Z, while King Cold is only seen briefly in a singular state. This raises some questions.
About being more powerful.
Yeah. Over whether King Cold is in his first form like Frieza in Dragon Ball Z, or if he's in his final form. There's also the possibility that King Cold is in his second transformation, as his design bears such a resemblance to Frieza's second form. It's also possible that he's not able to transform at all.
He's in issue 7.
King Cold's capable. Huh?
It's a data. It's one of the official Dragon Ball Z data books that was dropping around when the manga was going on.
Alludes to the fact that King Cold is capable of separate transformations like his son. That being said, it's unclear if he has the same number of transformations as Frieza or even more. So he can transform. We just don't know what they look like.
Well, Frieza's transformations weren't to become more powerful. They were to control his power. So his final form is technically his base form. It's just that he needed those transformations to control it. But now that he's become more adjusted to it, that's why you never see him in those other forms anymore.
Well, I mean, you only see him as
because he's mastered.
You only see him in a small form, like.
Yeah, because he hadn't mastered his power. So when he used 100%, like, yeah, he's using 100%, but he's getting like incredibly bulky, incredibly big, and all that shit. I mean, he still was comparing with Goku, but he was as powerful.
Yeah, it's like Super Trunks.
But it was just because it was a way to control his power, to use it as an outlet better. Because in Super, in the Tournament of Power, he also shows the form again, but he's like, I don't need that. It's inefficient. I can do that. Yeah, but it's not. It's like Super Trunks when he got too big and he got incredibly slow, and it's like that. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he mastered his base form, and he's a freak. But yeah, that's cool though. I actually kind of like that I don't know that King Cold can transform or not. It's like a galactic tale or whatever. You don't know.
I mean,
it's one of the tales of the story.
I mean, can you imagine like King Cold's final form like being like a giant Megazord?
Make cooler cannon.
Like, good lord.
Make cooler canon.
I feel like I like him better as just a movie character.
I mean, I do like
cool.
him. Yeah, but he's so fucking cool, bro.
Nah, I don't want him being ruined.
What if he wasn't even Frieza's brother? That would be cool. He was like his own entity.
Nah.
He could just be another member of the race.
I feel
like,
yeah.
Hey,
no,
he could be Killmonger.
Like, dude, it would be so cool if he was actually canon and he was like vying for being emperor. Yeah, for the fucking throne, dude. That shit would be fire, bro.
Well, remember that was the reason why he went looking for Goku, because you literally killed my family.
Yeah.
So it made a lot more sense for him to go looking for some random person. Versus like, okay, I'm just, being evil and trying to, because he wouldn't have to even go near Earth if he was like, okay, I'm trying to take over the universe. like leave Earth for last or whatever.
Just tweak his backstory. Just tweak his character and backstory like you did Broly.
Nah, he's good. Because Metal Cooler was like my favorite. Like
no, you know what? That's how he needs to come. Like if they make him canon, just straight up Metal Cooler, and he can transform in Metal Cooler.
No.
That's full like
Metal
fanboy mode right there.
Metal Cooler was good for the power level they were at because he was able to wear them down and eventually capture them. If he tried doing that now, I mean, I know power scaling isn't a thing anymore.
It'd be like, yo, this fucking robot is crazy.
So they probably make him as strong as Beerus.
This fucking universe is insane with these robots, bro.
But the point is like where he was really fit where they were as like at their current like power level. Like it didn't even need. And that was another thing I brought up too when I was like, I don't know if you remember the point about the what is it when Goku was like upset about, oh, I didn't like beat you with my own power when he was fighting Beerus. And I was like, I don't know why that ticked me off, because I was like, Goku literally, his main move is one where he gets power from everyone else.
Well,
like the spirit bomb.
I mean, that's his ultimate. I mean, that's his ultimate move. Yeah.
No. If you were like, I don't need anyone else's power,
but he can't really
use it. And then let's also not forget in multiple movies, he's done that, especially in the Broly movie, where he was like, I need your power. Give me power. He did it in the like Android 13 movie. They gave him power.
Yeah, but those aren't canon. So
I mean, that's why. Then don't introduce it. Like if it's not canon, don't say, because the spirit. And even when he was fighting Vegeta,
they're not canon. They can do like what they want, you know.
Even when he was fighting Vegeta, who cut off Vegeta's tail?
Yajirobe.
Exactly. Who did Goku give this first spirit bomb to, or not spirit? You know, the spirit bomb to. It was Krillin. So it's like, dude, that does not make sense with his character when he's literally been getting help from day one.
That is a good point.
I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
His level of arrogance is too high.
Yeah, it's like they switch personalities. Like Vegeta's like, I do everything on my own. I don't need help. And then it's like Goku's like, I need all the help. I love my friends. I need my friends. I protect my friends.
I think he means it in a sense like just one-on-one combat.
Yeah, but dude, he still got help from other people. Like even if it's
combat, he did.
Like all he did was sit in a circle and give him power. And mind you, nobody was beat up except for Goku. No one else. Goku was the only one getting like pounded on. So
I mean,
it wasn't I desperately need your power to finish this guy.
It is pretty par for the course that like everyone else wears down the bad guy, and then he shows up at the end to fight them when they're at like 80% of their max capacity after they've already fought through the rest of the team.
I think it's okay to let Goku be a little different, because a lot of people always say that, oh, he's so much the same. Well,
I mean,
he's at a different point. Like, I know the story is so simple that it's not literally telling you the setting or whatever. Whatever. No one's thinking about that watching Dragon Ball, but I mean, it's technically a different point in his life. Like, he's gotten so fucking powerful. Like, this nigga can't get a little cocky.
No, because that was no, because
he can.
No. Here's my point. Here's my point. The whole point of Dragon Ball.
But he swallowed his pride. He even says that to Beerus right after that. He was like, "Oh, so you didn't really care?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, I just
but that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense because that was never his character all along. The whole point of Dragon Ball was that Goku was this pure kid who, the only person who was able to ride the Nimbus Cloud. Going into Dragon Ball Z, Goku had to learn how to actually kill people, because it was like, okay, I need to actually like use this power that's actually really destructive. That was the growth that was coming from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. The fact that you get a little cocky because, oh, I'm the strongest or whatever, that doesn't make sense when it's like, okay, you have never been that way. You just don't. My point is, you don't just throw that out there when that was never his character. That's Vegeta's character.
I mean,
am I wrong? Like, that's Vegeta's
him
character.
doing it.
I agree with that.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
It's almost like Frieza coming out and being like, you know what? Saiyans aren't monkeys. You be like, huh? That doesn't what? Saiyans aren't what now? Like, that would betray who Frieza has been since he's been introduced. He has always called Saiyans monkeys.
I mean, honestly, there's honestly a good argument to for that, where he like doesn't even want to call them monkeys anymore because he respects them so much, because he actually does in the story. So, but yeah, I get you. I understand exactly what you mean. I mean,
that just blew my mind, because I was wondering why that ticked me off so much. Because I'm like, Goku, you've never been afraid to get help from anybody or any of your friends. Like, literally in GT, like, you.
I mean, that's GT, bro.
Anyway,
the thing is, you need to go about it like not with American Goku, bro.
It's not even American, dude. Like,
manga Goku.
I've read the same manga, dude. My thing is, if this is how you are up until a certain point, even in the manga, and you suddenly are just like, I'm the strongest, I'm super cocky, I'm literally Vegeta. Like, we're just switching places. That doesn't make sense to me.
He was only a little cocky against Beerus.
Yeah, but he's
that doesn't mean he's cocky in general. It's just he's fighting Beerus. He's fighting Beerus.
Yeah, but don't say it at all, because remember, he said that when he first met Beerus too. He was like, I'm Super Saiyan 3. I'm the strongest there is, and then he gets knocked out in one hit.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, but Goku's never boasted
brought his ass down.
Like, Goku's never boasted about being the strongest. Like, even when he was fighting Cell, it was like, I can't beat you. I'm gonna let someone else do it.
Well, Goku's been
Goku has never tried to
some
do more
negative tendencies sometimes.
Like,
I'm not surprised by his somewhat of just a little addition to his character that he outgrows quite fast.
It never should have been a thing. Don't introduce something if it was never a part of that character. Because again, if you're going to do that for one character, then you're going to probably do it for a lot of others.
I don't think it's, I know there isn't a precedent for him to be like that very much. But I do think there's a precedent that, that he's pure, but some of that pureness can sometimes lead to potential bad outcomes. Like, even like he's always made questionable decisions for sometimes because of how he feels. Like, it's not the first time he's kind of been that arrogant. Like, when he let Frieza go to 100% because he wanted to beat him at his best, because he wanted to prove that he was still fucking better than him.
Well, also consider he also obtained a new form that was like kind of contrary to who he was as a person. So if you suddenly started raging with roids in your body and you're like, oh yeah, I want to see how far I can go, then I'm pretty sure you would also want to test yourself, because it is something that's happening.
But he does that. He does that with Cell too, when he gives them the fucking sensu bean. No, like, he didn't have to do that.
Well, okay,
he really didn't. No,
that's since I hate when people bring that up. Because,
I understand why he did it.
Yeah, because it wasn't for him; it was for Gohan. So Gohan,
I know. I agree.
So Gohan didn't think, Yeah, that Gohan didn't think, oh, I'm only beating Cell because my dad weakened him. No, Gohan, you are stronger than your dad. You are stronger than me, and you can beat him without my help. That's how I saw it.
You got to understand what happened there, though. Like, Goku died because of that decision.
Well, I mean, you can't see the future.
So, I know, but that's the thing. Like, but I understand the intentions, but look what happened.
Yeah,
like,
but
they all almost died.
Dude, you're talking about death in Dragon Ball. Well, in Dragon Ball Z, it was a lot more permanent.
It was dangerous because the Earth might have been destroyed.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, listen. The whole point was to push Gohan to a point of where he can handle himself, because Goku was ready to step out of the way, because Goku wasn't going to win anyway. There was no way he was going to win. He said that and he knew that. So even if he kept wailing on him, now again, it's either Gohan grows up seeing that, okay, I can't do anything without my dad, and if my dad dies, then the Earth is doomed. Or he grows up saying, I am the strongest Z fighter here now. My dad isn't here, so I will protect the Earth. So those are two different mindsets that he can have based on whatever decision you make. Did people get messed up? Of course. It's Dragon Ball Z. Just because you make a decision doesn't mean it's all going to go well.
I know, but that's still part of his character, where he makes a decision that ends up sort of working. And I mean, you understand the intent. Yeah, I know you understand the intentions, but some of the outcomes are like, it's still dangerous.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is,
he still does that in Super. He does that exact same kind of shit. It's still part of his character.
Well, again, as I said,
interesting to see it
in that instance, he knew that Gohan could win. There was no ifs, buts, or whats. Gohan could win. But then what happened when Gohan actually did reach that power? He got cocky and he made a mistake. Goku had to pick up the slack. So it's like Gohan still, the point is, the decision he made was right, because Gohan ultimately was the only person who could beat him. There was nobody else. Vegeta couldn't do it. Trunks couldn't do it. King Kai couldn't do it. Dende couldn't do it. Freaking Yamcha, Yajirobe, nobody else could come. Nobody could come out the woodworks and save Gohan if he got messed up.
I understand that. Like, I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
Because even when Goku was fighting the Cell Juniors, he was getting messed up. The Cell Juniors. There was no mercy. So it was kind of like they were screwed. It literally had to be Gohan. There was nobody else.
No, I know, but
yeah, I have a reading.
His decision making still, it's questionable. Even though I understand it, I like that part of the story because it's interesting.
I think the thing is, you have to see it from the point of view of a dad, not just as a fighter. Are you going to let him grow up on his own? Or are you going to coddle him? Because that was like the whole thing in early Dragon Ball Z was like, Gohan, you're such a crybaby. You need to be able to do things on your own. I'm not always going to be here to protect you.
Yeah, I know.
So it's that growth arc that was like, okay, you need to do this.
Ringer, that kid was fighting. He was like 4.
Yeah.
Like literally, Gohan was the strongest since he was conceived. Like, bruh. So, anywho, we still have.
You could make the argument that Goku and Chi-Chi are both tiger parents, and they push Gohan to the extreme in different ways through education, but then also training. And it's like, man, could you imagine the pressure from having your mom breathe down your back to be successful in business, and your dad, the strongest guy on the planet, telling you to be successful and surpass him in combat? And it's like simultaneously, you've never had like peace until you were old enough to actually like go off to school or something.
Well, the funny thing is like Gohan actually like played into that himself. You know what I mean? Because like when they went to Namek, he was like, yo, I need to bring Piccolo back. Nobody forced him to make that decision. Nobody was like, Gohan, you have to go. It was like, no, I'm going because I need to do this. And a lot of times he gets in the fights on his own. So it's kind of the idea of he was set up for success because he got, he was able to actually have a really good job. He was actually able to get a good job as a grown up. He could have been the strongest fighter if he continued to train. So he could have been set up. He could have been the smartest Z fighter.
I mean, he's not.
Imagine being, do any of them have a PhD? Yeah, I was about to say, nobody else got a PhD.
But as a fighter, he's not.
No, what I'm saying is in terms of versatility, because they're not getting paid to be heroes.
Yeah, I know.
Gohan is making that bread. And the only reason why Vegeta's got bread is because Bulma has it.
That's true.
So who, who's better off? The kid who was like pressured and like, okay, I'm going to study, I'm going to train, and I grow up to be the world is at peace. I can go to school. I grow up and be a doctor and anyway, we got a few more to go through. The next one.
I forgot about the the mysteries.
Yeah. Why are villains allowed to keep their bodies in Otherworld? Otherworld becomes a prominent element in Dragon Ball Z, and Goku spends an extended period of time in the series in this realm for the deceased. Otherworld's rules in the anime gradually change as Dragon Ball Z evolves. One of its central tenets is that it's a tremendous privilege to retain one's body in the afterlife. Most people, particularly villains, become disembodied souls who lose access to their bodies. This raises some major questions regarding why villains like Frieza, King Cold, Cell, and the Ginyu Force still have their bodies in Otherworld. Some of this could be a place
for people like that in hell.
Some of this could be explained by the fact that these appearances are restricted to filler, but there are still characters like Deborah who retain their body in the afterlife. It's possible that Dragon Ball Z just decided to change his mind about this otherworld detail, but it's still addressed when Vegeta gets ready to sacrifice himself with the final explosion attack against Buu. Piccolo reminds Vegeta that he'll lose his body and be reincarnated if he kills himself.
What was the original question?
Why are villains allowed to keep their bodies?
Oh, the only real villain that honestly kept their body was I think it was Frieza, but that was only because he was in like the biggest hell of hells.
He was in the
they reserved. They gave a special treatment for him, and an evil equivalent to how they gave special treatment for someone like Goku.
Well, what they're talking about, I think, is remember in the Z fight when they flash to like hell, and it's like Cell.
Oh yeah, that's filler.
Frieza and all the other.
It's a cool scene though.
And the other part about Deborah being able to keep his body when he was literally the literal king of demons. So why does he get to keep his body?
I don't know if that was in the manga, honestly. I think that was.
I think so because he was with Chi-Chi and Bulma when they died. When everybody died on Earth.
That's filler. I'm pretty sure that's filler. That's not in the manga. He's not in the manga when in the afterlife. A lot of that was just padding for episodes because it was so close to the fucking comic book.
Well, I have to look into that fact then. Because if that's the point, or if that's the case, then this whole point is irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ginyu Force did have their bodies when they went to Otherworld, so.
Oh, that was filler too. But it's good filler.
Man, they could have just forgotten the rules and been like, hey, it looks cool. We're going to look and keep their bodies.
I mean, that could genuinely happen. Like, yeah, we forgot about the rules and we don't care here.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Why isn't the Grand Supreme Kai expelled from Buu?
It's been too long.
Dragon Ball's tiers of celestial deities and guardians have come a long way since the original series. Dragon Ball continues to expand the universe and reach the point where Dragon Ball Super's multiverse is governed by gods of destructions and all the other people. Dragon Ball Z introduces Kai and Supreme Kai, but the Buu saga also indicates that there's a Grand Supreme Kai. Curiously, Dragon Ball Super separate universes all seem to have Supreme Kai, but no Grand Supreme Kai, and it's unclear why Universe 7 has this extra figurehead, because they weren't thinking about it when they made Super. Additionally, the Grand Supreme Kai was absorbed by Majin Buu, and his spirit lives on in Innocent Buu. To this point, it's unclear why Grand Supreme Kai wasn't expelled from Buu along with the other absorbed entities that Goku and Vegeta free from inside of him. Grand Supreme Kai has become a permanently defining feature in Buu.
It's because it's in Fat Buu. That's why.
Yeah, but they took him out. They took everybody out.
No, they took them out from evil, the original evil Buu that formed. Remember, they became two separate bodies. So the Grand Supreme Kai is in Fat Buu. That's why he's still like that. He uses him or becomes him because he can do that in the Moro arc. So they give Fat Buu some stuff to do because more lore and shit like that. So that's cool. But yeah, they don't have Grand Supreme Kais in the other fucking universes for some reason.
because they forgot.
Because Universe 7 is special.
Because they forgot.
Apparently.
Let's see. Next one. How does Goku read minds and use telepathy?
Because he can.
There are many occasions in Dragon Ball Z where Goku is separated from his friends and family only for him to arrive on the battlefield when it matters most. It's not exactly engaging storytelling for Goku to ask his friends what he's missed and get bogged down in exposition. Dragon Ball Z skirts around this issue when Goku's Namek reunion with Krillin and Gohan is simplified by him reading Krillin's mind. Goku makes contact with Krillin and his mind is connected to his friend. Goku and the other individuals are able to telepathically communicate through King Kai's help. But this isn't what happens on Planet Namek. It's never explained how Goku can do such a thing or when he learns how to do it. This could be one of Goku's most valuable skills. Instead, it's never developed and promptly forgotten.
Yeah, he doesn't really use that. He doesn't use that, but it's cool that he can do it.
Use it more often.
I was going to say it was very interesting choice for him to do that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was like alluding to like how Goku and Gohan and Krillin were doing like the mental training. Like, oh, I'm able to like enter his mind and see whatever he sees, like how they do the mental key training or whatever. I don't know. That's above my pay grade.
I just had a brain fart. To double back, Gohan is like an unsuccessful version of Baki, where he's not like going down the path his father wants of being the strongest. He's just kind of like living his life in an arguably pretty healthy way. I don't know why. I just thought of that. I was like, he's kind of like Baki if he wasn't obsessed with beating his father.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also just the fact of like there's really no, like, I think there's also the idea that they're hybrids. The desire to become stronger is inherent with Saiyans. but these guys are high because Goten and Trunks are the same. Like they never really were like, oh, I want to be the strongest or like fight. It was just kind of like, we just like to play kind of deal. Like, oh, we're able to reach Super Saiyan because we're hybrids. Like we don't have to work hard. But it's like they never really trained like Goku and Vegeta did. So I think it's just kind of more of that. Like it's the influence for them. Like they're literal Saiyans who are fighting race, who are born with that blood in them, with that innate desire within them to be stronger. But for the, hybrid Saiyans, it's kind of like, because Trunks was like kind of a special case because he literally was from a future where everybody's dead. So he had no other choice but to get stronger. So
and he had huge potential.
Yeah.
The hybrids did have I guess they didn't have to fight as much.
Yeah.
Except for Gohan as a little kid. But it's like, if you don't have to fight or train, you probably just
play around. And I think, again, that's just the influence. Like you got, literal people who are just two things of two worlds, but which world is influencing? I mean, they also live on Earth too. So if there was constant conflict, then I think it would be different. But there isn't. It was kind of like the strongest threat to the Earth has been eliminated. I don't have to do anything else. Why would I do anything else? It's probably almost like after a world war, like everyone's just breathing, sigh of relief. Like, man, we don't want to go through that again. I mean, that's my take on it, at least. Like, he is a hybrid Saiyan at the end of the day. He is part Earthling. So, and I said this before, like, with Saiyans, it's like fighting is all they care about, dude. Like, getting stronger and training, that's literally all Goku and Vegeta do. Just eat, breathe, and train.
I feel like Chi-Chi would not tolerate that in real life. I should be kicking his ass. Stop fucking training and go work.
Which I think is like so crazy to me. Like this man's literally
slide because you're rich.
Yeah, like Goku is literally, the Z Fighters have literally saved the Earth. I don't know how many times. They should be the richest people on the planet. But also don't like Goku. They live off the land too. So you have literal dinosaurs in your backyard. I mean, that's enough to feed Goku for like a day. So. All right. Next one. How does Earth's moon return? Dragon Ball Z's characters become so powerful that apocalyptic acts of destruction become simpler tasks for them. Entire planets are casually destroyed by various energy attacks, which means that blowing up the moon is actually no big deal. The moon plays an important role in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, as it's an essential trigger for a Saiyan to transform into a great ape. Removing a Saiyan's tail is the most popular way to cut this transformation short. Piccolo takes a different approach doing one of Gohan's rogue great ape transformations when he decides to blow up the moon. However, Piccolo's attack should have had major ramifications on the planet, but there are no consequences for this decision. The moon is later seen again in the Trunks saga, even though there's no explanation for his return. In all likelihood, someone probably used the Dragon Balls to wish for the moon's return. This is never confirmed, and the real answer is likely that Akira Toriyama just forgot that the Earth's moon is supposed to be destroyed.
Probably. Hey, do you ever wonder if they have or should use the Dragon Balls to fix smaller problems? Like, hey, can we make sure this volcano never erupts? Like, hey, can we stabilize, the tectonic plates around Japan so we don't get tsunamis every couple of years?
I mean,
I don't think they care about all that shit.
I mean, they literally have dinosaurs roaming the planet, so I don't know, dude. And talking humanoid animals. So I don't know.
It's like, hey, can you make it so that people don't have to go hungry?
I was also about to say, like, this is the least of their worries when you literally have a bio android sucking people's life force out of them to where they just leave their clothes behind. The tectonic plates.
Technology is crazy.
Like tectonic plates are like,
Technology is crazy in Dragon Ball.
yeah, like they can literally put entire vehicles and homes into a little capsule.
Goat.
Which
I need that
I don't
invention
even want
in
to
real
question
life.
the physics of that.
I don't either.
I need that in real life, bro. I don't care.
Well, the funny
Make it
thing is, it's so normalized because
Make it happen, Elon Musk. Lol.
Like it was so normalized because it was introduced so early on. Like Bulma was using that crap like day one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We just kind of got desensitized to it.
Crazy tech.
Like the only time I like really questioned it was when Bulma made the Blux Wave machine, or even the time machine. I'm like, bro, how are you coming up with these ideas?
Literally on some Tony Stark shit.
Even better than Tony Stark, because I'm like,
they're fucking super geniuses, bro.
Like
literally.
Like, how do you make literal, like, the strongest, like, organism just by combining some random dude's cells together?
I appreciate the brain version of Goku and Vegeta's journeys.
Like, I mean, bro.
Fucking Richard Reeves over here.
I mean, it at least gave Bulma some, like, meaning through, like, the Z saga.
It still does, honestly.
I mean, she definitely played a bigger part in the Cell saga than she
did a lot.
Well, even in the Frieza saga, like making the spaceship and the dragon radar, even being on Namek.
I mean, at some point, she just became an eyesore in that arc.
I mean,
she wasn't bad, but she was just a damsel in distress. She was a damsel in distress mostly the whole arc.
I mean, she's a normal human.
Yeah.
Like, how would you feel if you were like, everybody else can fly the speed of light and I'm just here?
Hey, man, it was funny when in the English dub when Bulma is like, he's like, we're in front of Vegeta or some shit, and Zarbon comes, and then she's like waving at Zarbon because she's like enamored by his beauty.
And he turns into
a hideous creature. Like, thank you for coming to rescue me. And then Vegeta's just like, idiot.
Oh my
god. Like some fucking Eddie energy coming from that motherfucker. Idiot.
Dragon Ball Z was so wild. All right.
What other question?
What do the Metamorans look like and where do they come from?
We have no official images of those beings.
Dragon Ball Z has explored many planets across the galaxy, many of which contain unique species that possess impressive abilities, such as the Namekians and Yardratians. Dragon Ball Z briefly depicts Goku's time on Yardrat in the anime, where he learns how to perform instant transmission. Dragon Ball Z doesn't do the same courtesy when Goku learns from the Metamorans how to perform the fusion dance. Goku only indicates that he learns the fusion dance from them during his years in the other world. Dragon Ball Z has never shown any Metamorans, and audiences have no idea what they look like or where their planet is located. The mystique that surrounds the Metamorans is quite surprising, considering that fusion has become such a useful practice in Dragon Ball. It is spammed. Like,
I mean, I don't know about all that.
Okay, it's not spam, but it is used so often. It is literally
not really, bro.
It is literally
used very sparingly, man. It's only getting used twice in different versions. And
it is the only technique that Goten and Trunks do together. Like now
they're giving him more. They're giving him more to do now. Finally,
it's like 9 times out of 10. If we're gonna throw hands, we're gonna do it together.
What do you two do? We fuse. Is that it? Yes.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah,
bruh. All right, 2 more. How does the hyperbolic time chamber return? Okay, this is an interesting one. Hyperbolic time chamber becomes an essential training tool in Dragon Ball Z that allows its occupants to cram a year's worth of training into a single day. It's never explained who creates the hyperbolic time chamber, and it's unclear if it's a pocket dimension courtesy of Kami or Mr. Popo. Hyperbolic time chambers rules have changed and been upgraded over time thanks to Dende.
By the way, guys, I'm going mute. I'll be right back.
I bet. The room has also been mysteriously repaired by unknown individuals that have helped keep it operational. Gotenks and Piccolo's assault on Subaru in the hyperbolic time chamber involves the room's doors being blown off, which makes it non-functional. However, the hyperbolic time chamber's doors are fixed and the room is operational when it's next seen. It's possible that the room was repaired by the heroes Dragon Ball wish to restore Kami's lookout. Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai mentions that Piccolo later fixed the doors, but this is hardly canon. To go one step further, Vegeta fully destroys the hyperbolic time chamber in Super, only for it to be miraculously fixed.
Any number of things could have happened.
That's what I was about to say, because you literally have Earth's Guardian up there who makes the Dragon Balls. So I would imagine they would have some way of fixing it.
Yeah.
They just don't say how or mention who does it.
This is one of those like off-screen things that like, how come we've never seen this character go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
We know they do it, but we just never see it.
I think it's probably such a big deal because they use it so much and it's such a like integral part, like especially in the Cell Saga. Like it literally felt hopeless until they were able to use the hyperbolic time chamber to get in a lot of training.
All the time. They haven't been like, hey, can we make it so we can use this thing like once a week?
I need to use it every day after lunch.
But I guess that's a good thing that they don't use it, because if they kept up with the rules, they would just constantly be getting stronger. Like a year of training in a day is an insane amount of progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess there should be some kind of limit, or they should be like, hey, we're not going to use this thing anymore because it feels kind of cheap.
I mean, in a place that is literally an infinite void to where you can shoot off your strongest attacks.
It's like in Pokemon where like you're just farming until you're like 15 levels above the next gym. It's like, okay, you grinded the levels, but it doesn't really. It's not a good challenge. It's not in the spirit of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, last one. How did Future Trunks get his sword? Future Trunks is only in Dragon Ball Z Cell Saga, yet he becomes one of the series' most popular characters. There's so much novelty in another Super Saiyan entering the fray, let alone Vegeta and Bulma's time-traveling son. Future Trunks' sword in the Saiyan signature weapon, and he's rarely seen without it early on. Swords aren't used by the majority of Dragon Ball Z characters, and fans have been curious regarding how Future Trunks acquired this striking accessory. Dragon Ball Z's 13th movie, Wrath of the Dragon, goes so far as to highlight that Kid Trunks received a similar sword from Tapion. However, Kid Trunks and Future Trunks are very different characters who have lived separate lives. It's fascinating to see Kid Trunks also receive a sword, but there's no reason to think that Future Trunks received the sword from Future Tapion. Audiences still don't know how Future Trunks acquired it. That's right. Because in the movie...
I did not know the sword was special. I thought it was just a convenient blade.
But yeah, because remember in the movie, Goku beat Hirudegan because he went Super Saiyan 3. But in the Future Trunks saga, Goku died before he could even get to Super Saiyan 2.
Right.
So there would be no correlation between like, oh, we met Tapion. I mean, it could literally have been a sword his mom made.
Because technically it's the same. God, the time travel is weird. It's not the same timeline, but like if the events happened the same thing would have happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how does he get the sword if Goku died?
So I'm trying to remember
the
why
events of the movie don't happen.
Yeah, because I was about to say, why did Tapion come to Earth? I can't remember. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I need to rewatch it. Oh, before I forget, I literally just remembered another reason why I like the original Z Broly versus the Super Broly. Do you remember in the original Z Broly movie when Paragus was trying to escape in the pod?
No.
So Broly walks up to the pod as Paragus is trying to escape. He looks in the thing. He's like, "Where do you think you're going?" And Paragus is like, "Oh, I was trying to get the spaceship ready so we can leave." And Broly's like, "In a pod built for one? Cool." So he grabs it, lifts it over his head, and crushes the pod with his dad in it.
That was menace.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, overwhelming power, but with reasoning and common sense versus just power that you can't control and you go absolutely crazy with. I'm like, this man was a menace. Because I forgot about that part. I was like, that was just stone cold Broly. Ugh. Yeah, because he threw it into the star thing. Yeah. He crushed it and then threw it into the star that was like barreling towards the planet. Dang.
Some savagery. It's like, oh, you're leaving? No, you're not.
Well, he did help him leave. Just not in pieces, not in one piece. I forgot about that. Because I was like, they in Dokkan they released a Broly character. He does that. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
He does that move, like he like lifts you up and then crushes you.
Well, it's like kind of like an active skill. Like it plays like a animation of him doing certain things and he gets like a buff or something. Okay. So it was like, I don't know why they chose that, but I mean, this man literally just, because I was like, dang, looks cool. Yeah, like he literally did that. Because like in the Super movie, he, Frieza killed him. He goes crazy. But in this movie, he's like, yeah, I don't need you anymore. You tried to control me. Dang. Because he didn't even talk a lot, like, when he was like docile and everything. But when he let it all out, he was talking. Like, Kakarot, how much do you love your son?
Yeah, he was on some cruelty shit.
Like, dude. I still remember like when he was like standing on the building and like everyone was like trying to hit him. And it's like this big, huge Broly dude is like just dodging all their punches. Like, it's like 5 people against 1. He's just sitting there in the same position, just like moving around a little bit. I need to rewatch that movie. Speaking of movies, I finally watched the we were talking about Trolls the other day for whatever weird reason. And I was like, I never watched the recent one. I finally watched that one. It's on Netflix.
The animated Trolls.
Yeah, the
not seen that.
It's what is it called? Band Together or something? And
yeah, Trolls Band Together.
I don't know why I didn't watch it when it came out. Because maybe I thought it was just unnecessary. Especially after a Christmas special and a whole animated TV show.
There's so many different Trolls movies and shows. What is this?
Yeah. Because there's the first Trolls, then there's the second one that is the World Tour. They came out with the show that's on Netflix, and then the Christmas special, and then DreamWorks? The recent one. Yeah, it's all DreamWorks.
Okay. And they're musicals.
Yeah. Muse is not that bad. But I brought up that argument with like Sing, like the Sing movies. It's like all the music is songs that we know. There's no original songs at all. They're just sung like different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in Trolls, there are at least like one or two original sound, like, you know, songs that they made up. Because in Band Together, the recent one, In Sync was in there, which I thought was weird. But I mean, it is about boy bands, so I guess. Oh, I guess I can stop the streaming now. Oh, because I closed my thing, it automatically could close it. Bruh.
Hey, I should watch these movies. Add them to my watch list.
Yeah, they only have.
Insane.
Yeah, they only have the first Trolls. The second one you have to buy, or you can rent it on Amazon Prime. I think it's like $3 or something. And then the third one is on Netflix. So everything is on Netflix except for the second movie.
Okay.
And the first movie, like, I mean, you'll watch it, but like the first movie I thought was the best one because of the tone and like the storytelling and like the danger. And then they just like, oh no, we don't need that anymore. We're making this for kids now.
Why is the second one not on Netflix? That's weird.
I don't know.
Unless it's not on American Netflix.
That could be a good point as well.
That is strange. I feel like Netflix does that a lot, where they're like, hey, we have this one movie, but not the sequels. Or we have the sequel, but not the first one.
It's so weird.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Speaking of 4 movies, did you see Kung Fu Panda 4?
No, I did not hear good things.
I didn't either. And I think I know why. Like,
why?
Well, because they show the commercial on like YouTube sometimes, and it's on Peacock. That's a bad sign within itself. But basically, the premise of the movie is like there's this one villain who can become all of Poe's previous villains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is the sign of a bad movie to me. Like, you couldn't come up with a creative enough of a villain that you had to literally make someone who just becomes everybody else. Because they didn't have problems making villains for the other movies.
So unique.
Yeah. Like, each one was really good. But we're like, nope, we can't come up with anything better. So we're just going to bring all those villains into one person.
I would have preferred, well, I haven't seen it, but I would prefer a premise where they just become Poe instead of the villains. And it's like, hey, you fought all these villains. No, let's fight yourself. Test yourself against yourself.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. That would have been a better. Yeah. And then they're coming out with the Minecraft movie for whatever dumb reason.
Yeah. That trailer looked questionable.
I didn't even see it. I just saw like snapshots, like the images all over the place. The sheep and Jack Black for whatever reason.
Jack Black is Steve.
And I'm like, I mean, he did a great job in the Super Mario movie, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, like Minecraft is kind of like, probably not the best.
What the premise even going to be? Unless they just like go to the end by the dragon.
Yeah, that too. Because I was like, what's the story gonna be?
That could work. It could be a reverse Jumanji, where they go into the game and have to pull Steve out and be like, oh, you're actually like a person who had to go into this fake world, but you were never able to like be the dragon, or you got there and you were like, yeah, I'm not going to die against this thing.
The isekai storyline.
Yeah, I just got isekai'd.
I've been reading like so many different ones lately, and I've been like, bro, this is too much. There's too much trash in the sea. We need to clean up our oceans.
I never did finish that. What was that anime we watched in one of the early episodes?
Oh,
Isekai for a second time over.
I can pull up our notes. I keep like the Word documents for each episode, but I do delete like the original recording because that takes up way too much space. The episode 1. Let's see what we got.
I'm into another world for a second time.
Yep. Literally, you said it as soon as I like, because I had it highlighted amongst the other ones. We actually need to do another one of those.
I was just like, I've lost interest.
We actually need to do another one of those. You need to spin the wheel.
Concept. It just wasn't super interesting.
It wasn't executed well. And I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of isekais. It's like they take an idea from another one and they don't really expand upon it that well. Like, oh, there's a one, I'll put it in the chat if I can find it. There's this one that I follow every week. It's like the Heavy Night something. But basically it's like this guy, he like, you know, the whole isekai thing. But he wakes up in like, this world, he gets disowned as a noble, but he has to use like his game knowledge in order to like make the best decisions or whatever. And I think it's really well written.
I need to give Do You Love Your Mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks a second chance.
Oh my God. Dude.
I remember this being like funny because he's like constantly upset that his mom, who is not a gamer, who knows nothing, is massively OP. And he's just like, what the fuck is this? She's OP and I'm weak comparatively.
Bruh.
And she's still like babying him. It was the funniest to watch them. At least what I remember was funny.
That's why I'm like, I think like my favorite ones are like those that don't really take themselves too seriously, or it's like there's a way to do humor. But I think like with the Brought to Another World for the second time, I think they play too much on like those tropes. Like when tropes become the character.
It was very tropey. Like,
yeah.
When you're watching it, if you've seen a couple of isekais or like anything about RPGs, you can kind of guess what's going to happen. It's like, okay, I'm not really interested because I've already figured it out 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I think that's why I really like the Heavy Night one, because it's like no one plays a specific role or a specific personality. It's just like people living in this world and like the tropes just kind of happen, or no, there's really no tropes, or let me rephrase, there are tropes, but it's like you wouldn't expect that person to be that way. And it's not like they're that person throughout the whole thing. Because that's the thing that really ticks me off, is like when it's a trope character and they stay the same the whole time.
Ooh, you know what I need to get back into? The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh yeah. I think didn't they just come out with like the third season not too long ago?
I think so.
Is the manga even still going on?
Yeah, 3 seasons on Netflix.
Oh.
Was season 4 confirmed?
Oh, so it still has a long way to go. I don't even know what to make of that, because season 1, I think, because I did see season 2, but I think season 1 is my favorite. Just because the way they like you really felt bad for the main character.
Yeah, there were a lot of reveals, and I'm like, okay, this is something I wasn't expecting. I'm interested. Give me more.
Yeah. And I think that like goes back to what we were talking about, like some series that are too short and then ones that are too long. I feel like if Shield Hero was just the first season and like kind of wrapped up in the second season, I think it would have been fine. Like Sword Art Online. If Sword Art Online was just season 1 and like season 2 was like, oh, this is the aftermath of everything, I think we would be good.
Ooh, the Sword Art spinoff was like that. It was pretty short and sweet. Just like, hey, here's our little story. We're going to wrap it up. And that's that. Gun Gale.
Yeah, Gun Gale was good. Gun Gale was pretty good.
When the spinoff is better than the original.
Which is sad, because the first season of Sword Art Online was pretty good. Like, it did have its problems, especially like the ending. Like when Kirito literally did die, but he didn't. But sure, whatever. But like the second season, it was like, yeah, we're just fairies now. We fly through the air.
A second season of Gun Gale is coming out this year.
Oh, really?
Or it was, a year ago it was announced. So it may or may not be coming out. No, the trailer came out back in March. Yeah. There's a trailer in March. So I guess the season 2 will come out towards the end of the year. I could go for a rewatch. I remember really enjoying it.
Yeah, Gun Gale was really good. I did not have a problem with that one. When are they coming out with Iruma-kun season 4? I need that in my life. Even Black Clover is still going on. It's just not in Shonen Jump anymore.
I haven't watched or read any of Black Clover.
Black Clover is better if you read it. The only problem is, remember how we were talking about the One Piece remake? And like,
why are we getting that? I mean, I know why we're getting it, but
yeah,
it is ridiculous.
If they
getting a remake right now,
yeah, if they put that talent towards something new, like if I wanted something to be remade, it would be the first like 2 seasons of Black Clover, because I think it's a good story, because I keep up with it. Interesting story, interesting characters. The only thing that Black Clover has JoJo's like JoJo level openings and endings. Like they're good. But the problem is the openings do not translate into the actual show until later on into like the series. It starts off
like, so that I see what you mean by JoJo's, where they're like dropping Easter eggs and you don't realize it until it's like a bunch of episodes in.
Yeah. but more so like that and how good they are, like good music, good animation. Like if I had to say anything, my favorite openings are, if you asked me, it would be JoJo's Bizarre Adventures and Black Clover's.
Mm.
But when you watch JoJo, you still get high quality animation. When you watch Black Clover, especially for the first 2 seasons, it's garbage.
Is it Seven Deadly Sins season 3 garbage?
I wouldn't say that bad, but it's like they could have done better. Like it's like they spent all the budget on the openings and was like, yeah, no, we'll give you $2 to work on the episode. Good luck. And they had no excuse for Seven Deadly Sins when they had the first season that was animated so well.
I still don't know why that happened.
I don't know either. They ruined a lot of like.
And there's a spinoff that doesn't look bad. So I'm like, wait, well, not spinoff. There's a sequel series,
which is weird to me because I've never really been into Seven Deadly Sins. Like, I watched the first season, but I've never read it. But I mean, like, dude, I'll never forget what they did to Promise Neverland season 2. They dropped the ball so bad on that show. Because people are like, oh, you should watch like Promise Neverland, watch season 1, but read the manga for season 2.
Okay, so I'm figuring out what happened to Seven Deadly Sins. It essentially got shuffled around to a number of different studios because each previous one was like, we have more profitable work, so we're gonna have somebody else do it.
Oh.
And apparently the studio that ended up doing it is not very, what is it, Marvy Jack?
The heck is that?
All this. Okay, yeah, the studio's only done 9 shows, 2 of which are Seven Deadly Sins.
Gotcha. Yeah, they should have. If it was that big of a problem, they definitely should have postponed or just said. Cause that's my other thing. Like, if you know it's not a good product, there's no way you looked at that and was like, yeah, this is good. Someone with common sense should have been like, no, we should not release this.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder how many times a studio or like a producer is like, we can either release this, clowned on the internet, fans will not want to spend money, and we'll lose money, or we can release it and hope we make something.
Yeah, because I'm like, that doesn't make sense in the long run. Like, if episode 1 is bad, just stop there. Restart. At least that's how I would, think it would work. Like, it's different from like a movie where it's like you put so much into it in the beginning, you try to finish it. But like, if you're taking a show episode by episode, listen. Stop while you're ahead. Where'd this dude go?
That was a good question. Where is he?
I was literally about to talk about what we're going to do for next episode. But if he's not back in 5 minutes, I'll just say it and then we'll fill him in. Because the next one is where you guys are going to hate me.
Oh, no.
It's something that I said we needed to do and we haven't done yet. So
we haven't done?
Yeah. The long list of media that we haven't touched yet. But I do want to kind of do the like trivia thing a little more. I think the Next one we'll do is like either 90 themes, cartoon openings, or, something along those lines.
Ooh, okay.
Because they do have like those videos on there where it's like, oh, what theme is this? The sad thing is like I can't like watch them ahead of time because like then I'll know what the answers are. But I kind of have to do it on the fly. Because I definitely would not have picked that quiz if I knew that's what it was like.
I'm trying to think of what media we haven't covered. Done music, movies, manga, anime, video games. What on earth could it be? Twilight?
What's that?
We covered Twilight.
I mean, we talked about books.
Covered Twilight.
I was about to say we talked about books. I'll give you a hint. It's something that we all did back in high school or middle school that to this day people still do.
Something we did in high school and middle school that we no longer do or we sometimes do.
I mean, you can still do it if you want. I still get like comments and stuff on the stuff I posted.
AMVs. No,
that's a good idea. Ooh, that might need to be the next one. Well, after this one. AMVs back in the day were baller.
I need to listen to some of the new Linkin Park tracks. I've been hearing good things.
I didn't even know they came out with something new.
Huh?
I didn't even know they came out with a new soundtrack.
Yeah, well, they have a new bandmate.
Oh, I heard about that. I did hear about that.
Her. Oh, I'm like, I only know one song she's done, but people do not like her. Every comment I see, it's just like, will you not watch this on?
What did she do?
So, the comment said that she is a Scientologist.
Oh.
And she was very supportive of, was it Danny Masterson? His rape allegations or being convicted of that.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah, he was convicted.
Ooh, that is not a good look for you.
And folks are like, oh, it's not just that she's a Scientologist, but she was also supportive of him during his like conviction. And it was apparently saying stuff to the victims.
It's interesting. I don't know. Because I've been like, I listen to the classic Linkin Park music and
Emily Armstrong.
I was going to say too, like they have it on Beat Saber too. Their songs are like really slow sometimes, so it doesn't really like, I don't play them as often. Like Eminem songs, those are the ones I play. That is where the workout is. Want to get your heart rate up to 200? Play Godzilla Eminem.
You on Beat Saber?
Yeah. Because they just released Houdini. Which I hope they release more of them. Yeah, they released a new pack. Well, the start of the pack. So the first song they released for the new pack is Eminem's Houdini song. I was like, okay. Yeah, I don't know what.
On dang, this dude got 30 years. Raping 2 people.
Dang. Wait, 30 years?
30 years.
They should have been life in prison, bro. Okay.
But Emily made an apology. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know all the details, and she was a friend, so I can support. But since his conviction, she has not, talked to him or anything. Which is understandable.
Yeah.
This was in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like some people do.
Giving Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis a hard time because they gave him some support too. But this was like before the trial and everything. It's like, hey, this is our friend from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We don't think he did anything, but if he did, I'm not going to talk to him anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Oh, if he's convicted, like, I mean, I guess in that situation, it would kind of be like, yeah, the best thing to do is kind of distance yourself, like to not say anything in public, like support them. I mean, in the background, but don't be like, oh, yeah, I believe he's innocent or, there's no way he could do this. Like, but that's the price of being in the limelight. Whatever you say can be held against you, apparently. All right. I don't know where this dude went.
He disappeared off the face of the earth.
So yeah, I'll just put in the chat for him like what we're gonna do. But the answer I was looking for was fan fiction.
Oh, fuck. The only fan fiction I read was Twilight and Harry Potter.
Well,
and there's one Avatar fan fiction I know that was really good.
I read Danny Phantom, Hey Arnold, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Rugrats, like Rugrats All Grown Up. And I think that was it. Like fan fictions I would read.
And Percy Jackson.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball Z. That was it. I probably read some other ones that I won't mention over this. But anywho, so for next episode, I put two options on a wheel. Each of us are going to read the first chapter of this fan fiction that I've found.
Oh no.
Now I had two options and I spun for it. Either it's a new story or a save story that's in my own, like on my own account. So a story I favorited. We got lucky. It was one of my save ones.
Ooh.
So then I spun for the category. And it was Danny Phantom.
Okay.
And the title of, I think I had like 5 or 6 stories saved of Danny Phantom. And it landed on Cupid's Wrath. So this is a Danny Phantom and Ember story. Yeah. So we're going to have to read at least the first chapter. Or first few lines. I don't think it's that long. Like I will say that about fan fiction. It's like most of the time it's pretty short. Let's see. Chapter. It's a little bit of a read, but I'm gonna say it like this. Read up until you can like contain yourself. Like if you get overwhelmed with cringe, you can stop.
Okay.
But
I accept this challenge.
Dude, like if it wasn't one of my save stories, it would have been like Doctor Who or something. Like you never know. Fan fiction is the Wild West.
Clips on my YouTube shorts. I should probably go back and finish watching it.
Or at least we got the one for the one after that. So we'll do AMVs for the next one. Or we'll do another anime because I had other ones on that wheel we never finished. Because we could have done Arifureta. That one's really bad. Some of the, yeah, I'll figure it out. I feel like the ones where we're actively doing something on the screen gets us, a little bit more screen time. This dude literally like went into his room, like looked at his bed and like laid on it. But all right, yeah, I think we'll just end it there. We're at 2 hours, 10 minutes. Not too bad.
2 hours. 10
yeah.
Nice.
I'll probably just upload the whole thing like I did the last one. Because I think the last one was 2 hours, about 2 hours, 30 minutes. And I uploaded the whole thing. I think that would be a lot easier than trying to cut it in half and like do all the editing. Nah. It does take longer to render, but at the same time, I don't put it at like 1080 HD or whatever. Like as long as I don't do that, it doesn't take as long to render.
Okay.
I only do the HD if it's like gameplay or something. Ugh, but yeah, what is happening? Did he fall asleep on the toilet or something? Bro, because I've done that sometimes. I've been just so tired. I'm like, bro, just gonna take a quick nap.
And 30 minutes goes by. You're sore. You're like, wait a minute, where am I?
Well, yeah. All right, listeners, we're just gonna end it there. Like I said, we appreciate you. Whatever ramblings we have going on, we do appreciate it.
Show.
Yeah, like this is the late show. But if we don't got anything else, listeners, if you are listening to us on the podcast, please make sure to follow, like. I don't know if you can like on podcasts, but you can follow, share. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And do you have anything to add?
If you like video games, go play Space Marine 2.
Fantastic. Because I'm like, October is going to be crazy. There's so many games that are coming out. Oh my God.
Sparkling Zero.
Bruh. Yeah. So viewers, if you heard my other one, that was a joke. I'm just making fun of it because the naming is so weird, but whatever. It's like the sparkling 0 calorie sparkling water. But yeah.
Super Tommy sparkling water.
God, no. No. But all right, listeners, you guys do what you do. Have fun. And peace out.
Peace.